Is it USB?
Is this one? UHTS? Sorry, you go.
Sorry.
Phase 2, what?
Yeah. Sorry, my eye.
Yeah. I think I found this. Is this what you are
Yes.
talking about? Okay,
That's
good.
what we're going to use for appearances. Yeah.
Okay. I went over swiftly.
You sound very clear, Zangpo.
Here we go.
Oh, okay. This one. Yeah, should be good. For her.
Just quickly.
哦，好好，这样子看，这样子，这样子。哦，明白。哦，这个概念。好的，它有开关的吗？
不用不用，
哦，不用。
闭了闭了。
But, for this session, it might also be good maybe to show people sitting. What do you think?
Oh, sorry.
Can you hear me, Zangpo?
Maybe what I will do, I do not spotlight myself.
Okay.
And so everyone can see a little bit. Maybe one of the cameras. You have this. What's this camera? Is it this one?
One of the camera. You have to click on it. Yeah. Oh, you want like this one?
This is fine for the meditation, I think.
Or like you want to?
Can you make zoom this? I cannot do anything here. You would have to do the camera. I guess.
Really?
Yeah, this is must be this camera here.
Yeah.
In front, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can.
Okay. And I will disappear. I will walk around and.
If you need the.
Okay. So I still need this one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I just built it right now. So.
Okay. I'm just going to say that we can start. Hello, can anyone hear me clearly out there? Shiva? Okay, good. We're gonna start now meditation it goes for about half an hour.
Zangpo, I can hear you. I can hear that one very well. This one.
It goes for half an hour and then we will get together and talk with each other, okay?
I can hear you
So
loud well.
begin the session. fish. TV. What is the TV? Yeah, it's screen for this when it was set up. I usually have it united same. Oh, here we go. Good, perfect. Please return to your tables. Oh, sorry.
哦，对对对，那我这个它不需要关吗？不需要开啊，好好，谢谢。
So, everyone can hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Okay. So we should discuss your realizations. And people who are joining on Zoom, you can participate via React. And please raise your hand if you have a question then, and then I can pick you up.
好，大家都可以听得到吧？我们现在来分享我们刚才做禅修的各自的证悟哈。那么在Zoom 上面的人呢，如果你们有问题的话，可以举手，老师会回答。
So, are there any questions in regards to the three kinds of meditation we were just doing? And also in general, you can also ask whatever questions you didn't have a chance yet to ask. But maybe let's start out with working your thoughts on the meditation here.
大家可以，如果对于你们刚才的禅修有什么问题的话呢，你们可以提出来。如果还有一些关于你没有去想的那些问题，没有时间去做的那个有问题的话，也可以提出来。
Not too many all at once. Yes, so we talk into the microphone so that everyone can hear.
So I just share briefly what come up in my mind.
Okay.
Because
Can you hold it a little bit closer?
Yes. So because I'm a beginner, so it might be. I just want to share what I have.
That's what this is about.
In my meditation. So before I started, I got a message from my husband about picking up my kid. And then, so when I start my meditation, it starts with nothing, and then that things about we just discussed picking up on my kids came up, and then I was like, oh, let me analyze this, and I start thinking, why does it come to my mind? And then I think about because we just talked about it, but actually, how did it arise in my mind? There's no beginning, but actually, it happened in the worldly setup, like we had a message. So maybe it left a mark, but in the mind, there's no beginning. It just comes up. And then why did it come up? I was thinking maybe this is the attachment of, does he know that I'm up here and the kid is downstairs? Do we need to switch keys or stuff like that? Maybe it's from attachment. And where would it go and what is it really about? And then I was like, but I don't recall what exactly I was like, it came out in my mind. Is it like where the kids are, or like it became blurry already? So I think, oh, this is an evidence that.
Thank you. For now, we do not try to figure out why the thoughts come up, right? But what makes me interesting. Oh, did you need to translate
Yes,
this?
yeah, okay.
Oh, sorry.
刚才这位师姐说到的是，她是一个就是禅修的，刚刚开始做禅修哈。那在禅修之前呢，她接到她先生的一个短信，就是让她去接孩子。那么她就想，为什么我会想起这件事情呢？是因为上课的时候提到了我们要做禅修。那么这个念头是怎么样进入我的心中呢？然后她一想，这个念头没有起始，那是也没有不知道怎么样的开始的，也比较模糊。而且因为我可能是因为我有贪着。那么现在老师回答。
So, in this meditation, we not so much focusing on why, even though that's a good question, of course. Then we can go to a psychologist and ask this question. I'm kidding, right? But what I'm interested in, it just came up, right? There was, what's your phrase again? It was just there?
I think in the worldly setup, it was because he messaged me, we talked about it. But in the mind, how did this idea arise? I couldn't find where it arose. But in my mind, I'm kind of guessing, because it actually, because it's.
Maybe, Susan, let me quickly do a little bit of exchange and then you can summarize.
Okay.
How did it arise? What did you find an arising?
It just came up. I don't find it arising.
What do you mean by it came up?
It was in my mind.
It was just there.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Translate.
OK。那么老师说呢，我们现在要谈的重点不是关于这个念头是怎么样的升起的。那老师就问他，那你有没有关一下那个念头是怎么样升起的？你是怎么样发现它升起的呀？那么这个师姐回答是，就是这样直接出现了。
Okay. It came up and was just there. So you said it was still, and then suddenly it was there, right?
Yes.
It was there, we might call abiding. It's here. Still, abide. What's in between? It has to arise, doesn't it?
I think when I realized it's there, it's already past the moment that it arises. So
there's no arising, in other words?
Logically it should be, but I was already
So you were saying you could not experience the arising, but logically speaking, we call this arising. That's nice. Okay. And let's just leave it like this and let's see what other people come up with. And then maybe we will return to it. Just, can you translate?
Yeah, OK。那么刚才老师就问他，那就说了，那你不知道他是什么时候升起的？他是你在做止禅之中，有这样一个念头出来，这个念头是出现了，而且有安住了。然后呢，这个师姐就说他不知道这个念头是怎么样升起的。那么因为在他觉察到的时候，念头已经是消失了，已经过了，所以没有察觉到念头的升起。这也是老师就说是的，那你就是说你没有体验到念头升起的那个刹那，你没有感觉到。
Okay, so what we want to do, we're going to quickly check in with several people and we'll find out, what's your name?
Serena.
Sylvia. We're going to find out whether Sylvia did it all wrong or not. I'm just kidding. Okay. No, we're going to find out what other people.
还有其他人有什么分享的？
Okay. Calder, you want to? You need the microphone. By the way, whatever anyone says, there's no right or wrong. Okay? Okay.
Yeah, I meditate and stillness thought, and but other thing thought about, but I couldn't stay in one thought.
You couldn't thought with one.
Yeah,
No.
try to stay in one thought, but again it's pop out different thoughts, and try to like anger thought, like recently by brute force thinking and.
Just before we go to anger, quick question. This sounds like you did the first meditation where just one thought showed up and disappeared, and then it disappeared.
Yeah.
我的。
Because you looked, why does it disappear?
It's just a disappear, and I tried to stay in one thought, but another thought came out.
Another thought.
Yeah.
But the one thought was over with.
Overweighted, and I
Okay.
tried to stay in one, but again it's pop out.
Okay, good. Translate.
Yes, yeah. I need to repeat your question in English, because so the people on YouTube can understand, can hear. Okay.
Oh no,
No.
they should be able to hear. When he speaks in the microphone, they should be able to hear. Yeah.
So just want to make sure I understand well.
Okay.
I was a little bit distracted. So what you meant is, your question is, when thoughts pop up, you have hard time to stay on one thought, right? And then the other thoughts appeared.
I
Is
was
that?
in stillness,
Yeah.
and the thought pop out, and I tried to stay in the one thought, but thought keep
Yeah.
pop out.
Okay, yeah. So that's what I said. Yeah, you try to stay on one thought in stillness, but then you cannot because the other thoughts appeared suddenly, right? Yeah. Okay. 哦，对，中文，对不起。他的问题是，他在静中做止禅的时候呢，他有念头出现了。但是呢，他觉得很难停留在一个念头，因为在他想要这样做的时候呢，其他的念头又出来了。
So, what I hear you, we usually have this idea, we have a thought, it just goes on, right? But when you directly looked at it, you said actually there's not just one thought or one story, it actually is one instant, another thought and another thought. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
But I tried to stay in one, but this keep coming.
Why did you try to stay in one? It was what?
Because there is stillness.
Sorry?
The stillness, try
Yeah.
to stay in one thought.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's keep popping up.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. So in other words, what I tried to address was usually when we think about a thought, we think about one continuous thought. Is that correct? I had a thought,
Yeah.
right? It sort of implies it's a whole storyline. It's one storyline, not made up of parts. It's one thought, one story, right? Maybe translate.
Yeah, OK。那么刚才老师就说，你的问题是，你的念头一直在继续，它是一个念头，然后呢，不只是一个念头，然后又一个念头一个念头接出来。但是为什么你要想着停留在一个念头之中呢？这是老师问的问题哈。那么他的回答是，因为我想要停留在止定中，我不希望就是说这个念头老是在出现。那么老师又就回答，那么你是想要就是再确认一下哈，你是希望停留在这某一个特定的念头中，因为你觉得这可能就是你的一个故事。
So my question is just like this. We usually think we have one thought, but we're not aware that there are many thoughts. They're boom, 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 boom. And when we have our one thought, it's really an important story, right? It's something worthwhile to tell. But would it be worthwhile to tell your little instant moments to other ones? But we usually think we have something really important. It's me thinking. But when we look directly at what actually happens, you were not able to stay with one thought because it's impossible to have a one thought. You can have lots of thoughts, and we can call these many thoughts one thought, right? Translate it, and then I'm going to ask you.
OK。那么老师回答就是说，通常我们会觉得我们有一个念头，只有一个念头，但实际上是一个念头接着一个念头，妄念纷飞哈。我们觉得我这个念头是很重要的，这是一个故事，我需要去分享，我要去注意，因为是我在想的，我不能只停留在这一个念头里面。
Sylvia? Right, hold on. I have one question for you.
Yes.
Your thought about your children.
Yes.
That's something important, right? It's your children?
Yes.
Okay. But it was just one thought, one instant.
Yes. I had other thoughts in following, but I was like, but when I had that one first thought, I paused and thought about that thought.
What I'm saying, Carlton didn't tell me what thought he had. It was very easy for me to tell him, you just had many moments of thoughts, right? I had hesitation to do this with you because this was your thoughts about your children, right? But right now, we're just gonna look independent, neutrally. We're not worried about the content so much. But what we can see, you also say, oh, this was not just 1 second thought, it was a whole series of concerns. For example, when I see my children, I have my story about my children. They grow up, are they sick, are they healthy, what's going on, right? That feels like a really important thing. And it feels like it's one important thing. And no one can challenge that. With Calvin, I had no problem asking him, is it one or... In other words, I would say, even if it's your children, and that's for granted, it's very important, it's many thoughts you had about your children. And in addition, in this meditation hall, when you think about your children, you think about your children, you actually don't see the children in front of you. You have an image, an idea about your children. And in your case, I would have said, oh, that's just a thought, it comes and goes. But with you, I did not want to go there. Oh, you're just your children, it's just a thought. You would think, oh, who are you, right? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, and that's exactly why I want to give the exact example, because for me also, because something just happened, it feels like it really just happened, but also it could be just something that arises in my thought.
Yeah.
Thought.
But let's say, okay, translate.
刚才老师问你就是说，你想到这个女士，你刚才想到你的孩子，你觉得这是个很重要的事情，那么呢，你是有这样一个念头，但是这个师姐也说，但是我其实同时还有其他的念头，那么老师就说呢，你是有很多的其他的念头，但我们在这里关注的不是这个念头的本身。你可能有很多其他的念头，因为孩子对你来说很重要，他们怎么样的成长的等等等等。对于你来说，这些念头是很重要。那么对于这位刚才提问的男士来说，他可能不觉得重要，他会觉得你是谁呀
？So what we want to learn here right now, what is reality? I think both of you say, independent how important it is, that it's made up of many thoughts. And right now, there's also one difference. If your children would be here in the room, and if you think about the children, those are two different kind of thoughts, right? If your children are the thoughts of your children is a present thought, but it's not directly related with the actual children. It's just a thought about your children, but you do not know what the children do. But you have a present thought about them. So in other words, what I'm trying to say.
老师说，现在事实是呢，不管你所想的这个念头是多么重要，这个念头实际上是由很多的念头来组成的。比如说，如果你的孩子在这里，你可能也会想孩子，但是你的想的念头可能是不一样的。你就是说，你在脑子里面想的这个，实际上不是孩子的，就是不是事实。因为你不知道你的孩子现在是什么样的。
We want to look at how our mind works. We usually think there's one mind and it's me and it's all because I'm important, because I'm me, right? Therefore, it's one thing. There's nothing like one thing. There are just many, many moments. And then we label them as one thing, it's me. Now, if you want to do a good thing, take care of your children, that really works. I need to take care of your children. However, for example, if you would have a mental problem or angry or some real problem which you want to free yourself from, and the thoughts are so powerful, it's good to remember there are just many thoughts and not just this one thing, right? Because one thought is really not a big deal. right? It just pops up, it's gone, and then you say it moves on to something else. And you did not tell me what it was. But there was your first thought an important thought or just a thought?
We try to stay in stillness.
Yeah. And then something popped up, right? And he did not even tell us what it was just a thought, right? If he would have said a thought about my children popped up, it probably would have had several thoughts. But if it's just a regular thought popping up, it just pops up. Now, when we have problems, as mighty and strong the problem looks, it's still a series of moments of thoughts. And if I look at one moment after the other, it's very workable, right? A single thought disappears. A storyline does not disappear. Do you get what I try to say? So right now, we just want to learn how thoughts work. And it's good to have a thought about children because there is, it's the second category we have, right? Where many thoughts occur. But there's this other option. If a single thought occurs, it's hardly ever a problem. Why? It's already gone, right? But when many thoughts come up, it's suddenly some big unworkable thing, even though it's just made up of many single thoughts. Maybe translate this.
Okay.
No.
刚才就是说，我们说到这位师姐，她的想到孩子以后呢，她还有一些其他的念头，但是如果是说我们只有一个念头的话呢，它并不是一个很重要的事情。我们通常会觉得，那么刚才老师就问这位先生，你说你第一个念头想起来的时候呢，你就觉得它很重要吗？如果是一个普通的念头升起来的话呢，我们就把它当成是一个普通的念头。如果是呢，重要的念头，你可能会一个念头又产生了。那我们现在这的重点是呢，我们要知道我们的心、我们的念头到底是怎样运作的。当只有一个念头的时候呢，因为它刹那生灭，不是太重要。但是当有许多念头一连串的出来的时候，那就变得很重要了，严重了。
Okay. Maybe let's also have more people coming in. Yes.
I had the experience of when I sat down and brought in stillness, one thought popped.
One thought.
Like you said, well, the inquisition or the inquiry would start with one thought. So one just occurred. And then it went. It went.
Sorry, closer.
It occurred and then it went.
It went, okay.
And then it was stillness again.
Okay.
And then I wanted to investigate many thoughts. So I manufactured something that brought many thoughts.
Okay.
And I had many thoughts more that came.
Okay.
And then it all went away.
Okay.
And then I had the image in my mind that my thoughts, like First Nations send smoke signals to communicate over large distances.
Okay.
And a person will make a fire, and then they wave on top of the fire to make one puff of smoke.
Okay.
If they want many puffs, they wave many puffs to make more smoke. And I realized my thoughts are just the puffs of smoke. You can't grab them. They're here and then they're gone. And my mind, when I let it make many thoughts, is like the person waving, getting very, very busy, making all these smoke signals, and getting tired too in the process. But then the smoke all goes away.
Okay.
Always.
translate?
还要说英文吗？那么这位先生呢，他的问题是哈，他在做禅定的时候是有一个念头出来了，然后这个念头就消失了，他又回到禅定，然后他又想，我要经历更多的念头，那许多念头出来，那么呢，这个念头又消失了，那他就在想，这个念头呢，就像是，就像是我们这个烟和火一样的，就是我们没有办法去捕捉到这个念头，因为那念头就是出来生灭生灭，这大概的意思就是这样。
So we don't have too much time in terms of, all of these things are really interesting. But so I'm going to say a few things, comment on a little bit to put things in perspective where I usually would not say anything. Right? The issue of importance comes quickly in, right? Something important is something singular and it's solid, right? And what you were saying, basically, a thought pops up and a single thought pops up, it just comes and goes. But then when you have many, there's some kind of importance involved, but it's still just many single things. In general, we do this meditation because we usually think whatever is happening in life is a single, permanent, enduring issues. And one of the main strategies is to look into its parts. A single extended thing looks like an important thing. But when I try to find the importance, where is it, which part, it's such single things. And a single pop-up is usually not where you lose your mind over. So one of the main meditations we have for any kind of problems, we look how strong is it? Does it have parts? And then we look at the parts, and do the parts have parts, right? And at some point you see just that the mind is a momentary popping up of things. And your example with the smoke, this was, if I may say so, one of the transmissions I received from a teacher. He basically waved a piece of incense of me and didn't tell me what he was doing, but it was strange. He wanted to show me something and all, but he showed me it was a piece of incense which with puffs of smoke come up, where the smoke seems to be there, but it's translucent, and it seems to be there and not there. But the less they were there, the more beautiful the smoke they also got. But anyway, maybe translate this. So I comment on things right now just because we cannot spend 3 months on this. And also I want you to see the implication of this meditation, which we do right now. This is the main meditation, how you solve most of any problems you have. You look, where is it? Where is it exactly? And you say, oh, it's just one moment after the other. A single moment one after the other is never a real big deal. It's workable. Why? When it's blobbed together, it becomes, oh, I have this problem, I don't know what to do.
Okay. Yeah. 那么我们说的就是说，当时一个念头呢，它不是说太大的一个事情。那么当有很多的念头出来，它可能会由小变大。那我们要对治它的这个诀窍呢，或者是说个方法呢，那就是我们要去看它每一个组成的这个一个刹那，这个念头，看看它的这个一些那个单个的念头。到底是怎么样的严重的？老师还举了个例子，说人家给他的烟， 那么呢，这个烟点起来了以后呢，他就会看到这个烟呢，一支香。那么那个香呢，点了以后呢，他会看到那个香烟出来，有一点模糊，有点透明。那么老师说的就是呢，这我们的念头，如果是只是一个念头，单个的念头出来的话呢，是比较容易解决的。但只是当有太多的出来，可能就是一个大块的，那比较难解决，难对治。
I'm going to wanna take. We will return to all of this somehow, but I want to have one. There's a question. May I ask for clarification on something you said? Norbu writes this in chat. When looking for the still mind, we must look for the knowing itself instead of what is known in the appearance. Where do we look for the knowing? That's the problem, right? Norbu, are you there?
好，老师有一个问题哦，在这 Zoom 上面有一个问题。
I don't see a face. So Norbu, if you would be there, I would ask you, you should keep on trying finding location where your knowing is. And if you find out, let me know.
OK， 这个 Room 上有一位听众问的问题呢，是在我在静中呢，我会感觉到觉知。那么我在想，这个去哪里去寻找这个觉知呢？就是说我的能观心，我去哪里找？那么老师说，那你就继续去寻找你这个觉知是在什么地方。
But in terms of answering your question is, matter has a location, right? You can say that the carpet is just here, the color is specific there, and whatever, right? But mind is not matter, and the quality of knowing, officially speaking, doesn't have a location. But you remember the discussion, it looks like you cannot find it. You cannot find the location. So therefore, the first thing, try again, if you can find the location. At some point, I would say matter has a location, but not mind. Whether mind has a location, if it would have a location, it might be matter, right? So basically, these questions are here asked, sometimes also to check whether you have a real experience or not. So when you cannot find the location, I was very happy to hear that, because I was also not able to find the location. But the experience of knowing is still there. If you try to find the location for your knowing, that also means you have the experience of knowing, but you just don't know where it is, right? And Thrangu at some point said, when you try finding the mind, it sort of seems to be there, but when you try to grasp it, it slips through your fingers. You cannot really pinpoint where it is. But the experience of knowing is very clear, and you sound like you have the experience of knowing of stillness, right? But if you try to find a location, it might be the wrong question for the mind, because mind, by definition, sort of doesn't have a location. It just knows. Maybe, sorry, too long.
Okay, yeah. 他回答刚才他的这个问题哈，找不到心在什么地方。那么老师问，我们说的，比如说我们那个地毯，它是有个地方的，它是在这里，它有颜色。但是我们的心，这个地毯是个物质，但是我们的心呢，不是物质。那么我们的要关注的问题呢，不是在这个，这个我的觉知，我的能观心到底在什么地方？问题是，我们的心有地方吗？ 如果是有地方的话呢，它是个物质的话呢，那就是很重要，我们要找到它。但是因为我们找不到，我们能够觉察的心在什么地方？但是我们同时呢，我们知道，我们觉知，我知道我在找。所以呢，他就说，我们要找心，我们找不到。你要问，哎呀，我去哪里找呢？这不是一个重要的问题，这应该说是个错误的问题，因为这不是我们需要关注的。
So if you do, in other words, the stillness meditation is set up in the way it is set up because for many of the things which we see, we can say it has a location, right? Like this table has a location, the ceiling has a location, when I go on the streets, the cars have a location, our body has a location. So we are used to think whatever exists has a location, a specific spot. But whether mind has a location, if you never can find the location, you might say maybe it's space-like or whatever, but if you cannot find the location, at some point you need to be certain, I cannot find the location. And then you might conclude, oh, even though I can experience it, mind does not have, within my experience, it doesn't have a location. It seems to be everywhere and nowhere specifically.
那比如说我们现在所在的这个禅修的地方哈，我们这个天花顶有地方这个地板桌子，我们的身体都有个场所，但是心有地方吗？心有场所吗？如果我们找不到呢，这个心在什么地方？那我们觉得这个心可能就像虚空一样那么结论是呢，心没有地方，我们是找不到的。
So we had sharing about single thoughts, and we had about many thoughts, right? And also you and you. And then I brought in the issue of importance, and I seem to suggest the notion of a single thought is just like popcorn. No one would go to war over it, right? It's just something appears and that's already gone, right? And actually, can I ask you, how long is the duration of when it abides? A single thought, how long is a single thought? A finger snap? Oh. When you study the Abhidharma, they say one moment is defined as the 64th of a finger snap. A 64th. When you go driving on the highway, and you see through the eyes, when you look straight ahead, everything looks steady, right? But when you look at the sides of your eye, the trees and the houses, they go. If you drive on the Autobahn in Germany, it goes. We drive so fast. So in other words, some people say it's the smallest period of time. And other people say, well, if it's still is a 64th, it can be divided by half. And so some people, the Sautrantikas, they say it's a 0 point. when it arises, it ceases at the same time, which is really puzzling. But bringing this back to us, whenever you have a problem, you do not take anything away by seeing it, those are many moments. I'm not saying that moments are not important, don't get me wrong here. But there are moments. And whenever you see there are moments, you also have to see, if it's something real negative, you also have to see, oh, there's still change involved. Every arising, so to speak, has also a ceasing. Usually, if something is negative, we just see the arising in the duration. We don't see the ceasing of it, right? We ignore the ceasing. We act like it's there all the time, right?
OK， 刚才我们说哈，那么呢，我们的念头啊是一个单个的念头升起来，就像是一个爆米花突然之间开了，然后呢又会有很多的念头。那么那一个念头是多长时间呢？那么根据阿毗达摩这个理论呢哈，这么一刹那就相当于我们这样的打一个响指的1/64，就是很短很短的时间。那么我们的念头，当我们在有个体验，我们在开高速公路开车的时候，我们两边看到那个两边的树木呢，就好像唰唰唰就很快的就过去了。那么实际上这个时间或者是这个念头，就像是都是由很多非常最小的一个刹那来组成的。这个念头在升起的同时，几乎刹那间就有消失了。那么我们有时候要看问题的时候，比如说我们有一些负面的情绪、负面的一个经历，我们要看到它都是在刹那变化之中。那么它有升起，也会有灭，但我们通常都会把它看作是一个永恒的、恒长的事情。
I want to quickly bring up the third part. When a thought arises, something is also perceived, right? There's an appearance. You see something, you think something, right? And it's asking this question whether when you do the meditation, do you notice there's a difference between what is seen and the seeing? You're thinking about something. Did someone work on, is there a difference between what is seen and the seeing?
我们现在看到这第三个问题，第三个部分就是哈，当我们念头起来的时候，那我们会有感觉，我们会觉知到。那么我们现在一个问题是，我们见到的东西和我们能见的这个觉知是不是有区别的？也就是说，我们的所观境跟我们的能观心是不是一回事？
For example, any mind, whether it's still mind, a moving mind, a klesha, or a virtus mind, is defined as that which is aware of an object, right? Being aware and an object are these two separate things. Do you experience them as separate things, or are they one thing? Anyone?
好，那么现在一个问题就是，任何的一个念头，它也有好的，也有坏的。那我们有没有觉得，就是说我们的觉知，我们的这个觉知力，就是感觉能感觉的，能够觉知的这个心和我们的这个对境所观的境，它是不是同样的？那你没有体验到它是有区别的吗？
Let me take a difficult example. Sylvia, when you think about your children, are your children and your thinking, do you experience them as separate thing or are they as one thing?
那比如说我来举个例子，你在想你的孩子，刚才这位师姐，那你觉得你所想的孩子，你的孩子跟你所想是不是一样的？
We're not philosophizing, we're just how you experience it. Is it one thing when you think about your children?
那重要的是我们要去体验，就是说，哎，你想到的与你自己的心是不是一回事？和你的念头。
You think about. Carlton, you had an idea about this? It's the object and the perceiver. They are different, you think? What does different mean? Why are they different? Again, we're not philosophizing, right? We're looking in how we are experiencing it.
Yeah, I think it's a difference because you think in the thought came out.
Okay. Is it different like these two things?
But this is only a fraction of a second.
They have what?
The connection is a fraction of a second.
Okay, but is it like your thought is, the object is over there and the subject is over there? Or is it like they're touching each other, rubbing each other? And
I talk about an anchor and trying to distinguish just anger and who caused the anger.
Yeah.
So the cause also comes together.
But the cause might be the previous moment.
But actually the cause, the cause is different than the anger.
Good argument.
But
why are they different?
Also, I thought the thought came out of my mother, and Allah, she loved me so much. So I just trying to distinguish the law and the mom.
Okay.
And I couldn't distinguish. Okay. The mom always come together.
Now you say just the opposite what you just said a few seconds ago.
Yeah,
you started out they're separate, and now you say they're actually not separate.
Okay. Now I'm going to translate. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's one of the things we should look.
Yes.
For example, let's say
Can I
this.
translate?
Oh, sorry.
刚才我们这个我们的问题就是，我们的能觉知的这个心和我们我们知道的这个外境是不是同样的？那这位先生刚才问他，这位先生他开始说，哎，是不一样的。那老师就说，哎，这不一样的，那是不是我这个杯子盖跟这个鼠标一样的不一样呢？两个不同的东西，还是两个是合起来的？那后来这位先生又说呢，他就说，哎呀，当他想到他妈妈的时候，他就觉得他妈妈很爱他，但是这个时候他又觉得这个爱跟他妈妈是同一回事。那么老师说，你现在的这个观点跟你刚才的也不一样。
Okay, so we have we cleared up in our conversation the three parts which we're looking at, right? At this point, we do not look for the answer. We just want to understand what are we working on here. But then we can also look what is the benefit of working these questions. In terms of working with difficulties in your life, these are powerful tools. For example, I give you an example. If your thought and your problem are really the same, then you really have a problem. then you think that your thought and the actual thing are the same thing. For example, if you think about a problem, for example, you think about an accident and the actual accident, those are different things, right?
Okay.
They are not the same thing, but when we think about an accident, we get so involved, we sort of treat it like it's the real accident, while it's actually just a thought about the accident. Many arguments you have with your partner and your children or whatever, they're all about what happened yesterday or will happen in the future and all those things. So often they're just recalling memories and treating them like they're the real things when you talk about them, when you think about them. Those are different scenarios. One is the real thing, the other one is thinking about it. That does not mean that thinking about this is worthless. I'm not saying this. But thinking about something is different from actually experiencing it in the present, right? So, for example, let's take.
No, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
我们现在呢不去回答刚才的一些细节的问题哈。那我们会要想的，就是说我们去观察，这些方法，去运用这些方法，对我们来说是有什么好处？那它会是一个非常好的工具，让我们去了解实相。比如说，我们想，我们的念头与客观的实际是同样的吗？那比如说，我们在想这个车祸，这个发生的车祸与那个实际的车祸是同一回事吗？然后呢，我们会经常，比如说与我们的家人产生纠纷，我们会想的，关于未来的事情有一些争论。那么通常这些引起的原因呢，都是因为我们在回忆一些往事，我们因为有过去的经验把它带过来了，所以我们把我们正在争论的事情把它当成是现实的事情。实际上我们要想到
I'll give you an example.
要想到这一点。
You sit in meditation room like this. When we do a lot of shamatha practice, if you sit long enough, you start having all those thoughts. You might get angry about something. And then we are supposed to, whenever this happens in Thrangu Rinpoche's instruction is, when you come back into the shrine room, say, oh, those were just thoughts. However, while you had the thoughts in the shrine room, you sweated and got angry and all those things, but those were just thoughts. And when you wake up in the meditation hall, one of the things you realize, oh, I got so involved with my thoughts, they took over and they were even more real when they were real, right? And so to learn when an issue is a thought and when it is not a thought, that's what you easily learn in a meditation hall. We label every thought which does not follow your out-breath as thinking. Every hallucination, daydreaming is just thinking. That does not mean that what you think about is nothing. That doesn't mean that. But it's different. Many of the issues which we have are just self-created through our mind. And because the object is so, for example, children, I mean, like, there's no way that a mother or a father, when they think about the children, say, sort of label it with thinking. I mean, like, we usually don't. But nevertheless, much of it is nevertheless just thinking, right? But that doesn't mean it's worthless, you know, don't get me wrong. But one of the things we're learning here is that often we mistake a thought for what happened in the reality. We get worried about the future and act like the future already has happened. And when we do that, then we might not see the options where we could avoid it because we're so obsessed with something. Maybe translate it and then we're going to take a break.
OK。那我们在长修的时候呢，我们做的时间长，我们会有很多的念头，也许有生气的念头。那么呢，创古仁波切经常说呢，当我们回到大殿的时候，我们就会把外面的东西，或者是说我们所想的，那仅仅是念头而已。念头呢，它只是想，是我们，它并不是真实的，它没有一个自我，它是我们自己创造出来的。通常比如说我们刚才他说到的想到的孩子，那实际上也是从他自己的记忆中想象的来判断的。那么这个记忆呢，回忆呢，并不是没有价值。那么重要的是我们不要把念头当作是现实而去执着，因为这样的话呢，我们会看不到全貌，看不到更多的可能性。
Okay, so we're going to take, I think, a 15 minutes break, 3:15, then we will return. And I think this was a good discussion because it touched in on each of the 3 parts we were meditating on. And it might give you a reference point what you might want to further pursue. And so when we return, we will do another half an hour of meditation and then return and discuss another 15 minutes.
好，我们现在休息15分钟。休息完以后，我们回来再做30分钟的这个禅修，然后我们再讨论15分钟。
This goes well?
Thank you.